Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. Today we're talking about the wallpaper project. You are designing a custom wallpaper for a client. So this is my sample one. This client apparently was all about the violin life. They wanted to live in New York City and drive a fast car. So there we go. I kind of pulled it all together into my document. So let's go ahead and break this down and I'll show you what the layers are. The thing about this project, there's no exact recipe, so you kind of have to pick and choose the parts that fit together for you. Okay, so I've gone ahead and hidden all the layers here for you. So we start off with a proper size 1920 by 1080. I went ahead and dropped in a paper texture here, and you'll notice that I dropped the opacity down a little bit on that to about 50%, and then I also changed the blend mode to try something different. So the original was something like that. So I used this, look like multiply, darken, I think, divide. No, I used divide. Where's divide? All the way down here is pretty interesting. So I got that layer sitting there. And then let's see, I put in my primary subject, and I'll go ahead and turn these off here. So I put in my primary subject, and I used a quick selection method to cut out or select subject, remove background. I went into camera raw and I just kind of edited the contrast a little bit. When you double click on the image, you can go in and do that. I added some background effects by double clicking on my subject here. I can open up my layer style menu and add in my drop shadows and things like that. So I went ahead and did that. Let's see, I added in the pore shear in the background. So same thing, did a cutout of that. That was pretty much all I did on that one. I added in my New York City layer right here, and you'll notice that the mask layer has this kind of soft edge. So all I did was kind of grab a brush that has like a soft edge to it, made it really large, and then on the mask layer I went ahead and kind of blended that in a little bit. That's how I got that nice soft fade. So I have that. I also want to show you the vignette. We talked about that. The vignette layer, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Let me zoom back out a little bit. The vignette kind of draws you into the center of the image. It softens up the edges. If I hide those other layers, really that's all the vignette is, and it's really just a gradient that's on here, a radial gradient, you'll notice, that has that dark and light shift to it. So I've got a vignette up there. So let's go ahead and turn these back on. My subject, there we go. I added in my text here. I just thought I'd play around with some text, so I added in some text, violin life here, and I went ahead and added some effects to that too. So I did like a shadow inside of it, played around with color. I don't know if I like that yet, but that's there. I went ahead and downloaded some brushes, and I'll have some links to those. So I got some free brushes here, some lightning brushes. So you notice that, those lightning brushes right there, kind of behind my subject. And then these other ones that kind of went around the border, these galaxy brushes, which I thought were kind of nice as well. To round this all out, I did a layer on top, which is a gradient map. And this is one of my adjustment layers from the bottom. It's a gradient map. And I went ahead and put that on that. If I look at the properties of that gradient map there, I have this kind of dark purple to blue fade happening on it, and it is applying over my whole subject right now. It's set to 52%. If I bring this all the way up, you'll notice it makes the whole thing pretty dramatic. You can play around with that. You can play around with the layer style. I could go to like color and see what happens if I make that a color adjustment, or change the layer mode. It's really kind of up to you, but that gradient map is a really nice one to add at the end. So that gives you a quick breakdown of how I got to this final piece here. Again, this is not an exact recipe. These are just some of the things that you could explore in your project and see what you can come up with. So go ahead, have some fun, add those vignettes, add those cutouts, blend things in, download some brushes, add gradient maps, and come up with something pretty awesome for your client. All right, good luck, guys. Have fun.